I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, as we come to you tonight, we thank you for the many blessings you've given us and for this great town in which we live. We pray, dear God, that you'll be with each of us tonight and guide our thoughts and actions as we go about the business of this community, and that we will act accordingly. We lift up the Doris Mott family tonight, dear God, and that you'll continue to be with those who she's left behind. And for the many of us who were students of hers, we appreciate her dedication to the educational system in our town. We pray to God for the others in the community who are sick and those who have lost loved ones. We pray to God that, as only you can do, that your healing hand and your hand of comfort will be upon those people. We pray now, dear God, for each person here, for each household represented, and most importantly, for the residents and constituents of our town. For in your Son's holy name we pray. Amen.
I'll have a seat. We got a lengthy agenda here, but maybe we can get through it in a timely manner. Well, first on the agenda is minutes from the March 18 to 24 meeting. Anybody got any questions?
I will make a motion that we approve those as written.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Next, is our bills paid in March of 24. Anybody got any questions on any of the bills that were paid?
Do not. I move we pay our bills for March.
I got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Next, an update on the Tennessee Downtowns program. Kim Parks, the Main Street Director with Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development, telephoned Jimmy to advise Middleton was not awarded the grant this time around. She said it's very competitive and to be sure to reapply. She said lots of communities applied 2 to 3 times before being awarded. Jimmy told her it was 3 attempts on Blue Cross Healthy Places before Middleton being awarded for the playground we now have. They advised that we would be trying again. All right, next, Jim Holland with Southwest Tennessee Development District would like to address the board in regard to the benefits of the Southwest Tennessee Developmental District. She has Jill, I'm sorry, I think I said Jim.
That's not right.
She has assisted with the grant process of the Tennessee Downtowns program, and she was present at the J.P. Shelley & Sons celebration when the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development recognized Shelley's for being one of the businesses in Tennessee that has remained open for more than 100 years. You got the floor.
All right, thank you so much. And I just want to tell y'all, I remember Middleton getting the Healthy Places grant. I applied for it 2 times when I was mayor of McKenzie for 12 years, and I didn't get it. So you all were really doing something right, because talk about competitive grants. I'm going to tell you, that's a very competitive grant. That's very, very tough to get, and very few cities get that. So congratulations, even though has been a little while. But anyway, I am the local government and special projects coordinator for Southwest Tennessee Development District. And of course, we have 8 counties and 35 cities, and y'all are one of our cities. And what my job is to just come to you all and find out. I've talked with Jimmy a few times. I met Mayor Mott at Shelley's, and I just need to find out from you all what we can do to help you. We've got our grant writers and grant administrator, Melissa Davis and Casey Smith, that you all are probably familiar with, especially Mayor Mott and Jimmy, for some of the bigger grants, Tennessee Downtowns, because it's only $15,000 to start with once you get it. You don't really want to use a grant administrator and grant writer to write it, because that eats up your funds. So you don't want to do that. You want to do it in-house. And I think that you all can come up with a really, really good one for the next time around. And I'll be glad to work with Jimmy and you all any way that we can. But we've got our grant writers, of course, we've got our city planners that are in-house. It's kind of like a one-stop shop. And you all own us because you pay dues to the development district. All the cities in Tennessee pay dues to their development district, and there are 9 of them. And so our single purpose, the reason we exist, is to do what we can for our cities to make sure that you all grow economically. And of course, we also have the Aging and Disability Department that works directly with your senior citizens and those who have problems and challenges with disabilities. But one of the things that I've noticed in going around, when I said we have 35 cities, we've got the larger cities that are fine. They have staff that does a lot of the things that cities your size really don't have. And you all have more than most, I'll tell you, for your size. But what I'm getting, or have begun to see and get really interested in, is some of our cities seem to be falling through the cracks, simply because you don't have the staff many times, and you don't have the budget a lot of times to attend the conferences and attend the workshops and send your people somewhere else, to get trained. That's a chunk of money to do that. And you've got Jimmy that's wonderful and he stays on top of that. But I talked to Brooksy Carlton last week, and I told her, I said, a lot of these cities are falling through the cracks, and with some of them, because you've got a mayor that's a part-time mayor, that person has other jobs. Sometimes the mayor may be retired, but he's also maybe the fire chief and the codes officer, and he's the playground, the parks and rec person. So it's very easy to miss things or find out about programs that can benefit your city when you don't have the amount of staff that can keep up with that. So Brooksy agreed, and we're supposed to meet soon to talk about what we can do to help you all. So from you all, what I would like to know is, what can we do at Southwest? I'll give you, an idea. Some of the cities I've gone to, they say, well, we would like to do a SWOT analysis, finding out your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats. And so we'll do that, and then we will have a strategic plan, okay? This is what you've identified, so let's get together and work on a strategic plan. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Saltillo, and they had done a strategic plan and a SWOT analysis with their whole town, but they did it with the parks and recreation, because you have to have that plan before you can apply, for those grants. So they didn't want to get their whole town together again. They had a hard enough time getting them together once. So what we decided there, and if you all wanted to go down that direction, you could. I'll be glad to help you. But they decided on certain places around town that people could write what they would like to see in Saltillo. Okay, this is what we would like to see, how we would like to see Saltillo grow. These are the stores we would like to see. This is what we would like to see with housing. And in order to get them to do it, they even had a window with Post-it notes that they said, we can get them to come by and stick it on this window, or we would have a marker and they could write it. But they were also going to offer that if you do this and put your name and contact information, then your name is going to go into a drawing. And they were going to have drawings for restaurants in different places around town that would encourage people to participate. And they were also going to have a booth set up at one of the festivals that they had, and where people could come by and, sign what their names and contact information, and also what they would like to see in Saltillo. So, and then they were going to compile all that information, tabulate it, put it together, and then what we were going to do is, okay, this is where you all have decided to go, this is where you want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years, and then give them the grants, not give them to them, but direct them, okay, these are the grants, then we would recommend that you all work on, and we will help you as those grants, come available, because they really didn't know what grants were available, and also, how's it gonna help us? So they said, we would like grants specifically for the direction that we want to go. So that's something you all decide you wanna do, we'll be more than happy to help. But what are some things that we can do at Southwest that would benefit you all? Sometimes I feel like I don't see you unless we're at an event or something, but we are here to help, and we don't charge you for it. So you pay dues for what we do. So
Well, Sharon and I have talked a lot. To me, where we as a city are missing the mark with our younger kids is to add more of the renovation aspects to the park. I mean, I know we have the playground stuff here, but you drive by and there's sage grass growing through the chain link fence. There's really nothing for kids past about the age of 10 or 12 to do and it's not citywide. That's been that way here for, I know, 50 years, because it was that way when several of us in here were teenagers. But I personally feel like that would be a wonderful legacy for our board, would be to achieve completing the park that we've been looking at now for probably 2.5 or 3 years. I think that needs to be done, and I know we have a lot of other projects, be it the sewage lagoon or whatever, but aesthetically, and I understand the other stuff has to be done, but we need something that when people drive through town, they feel like this is a community that they want to be, and where they want to live, where they want to have business. We've got wonderful people here. Most of us have been here our entire lives, but as far as driving through and seeing the park and the condition it's in right now, it looks worse than I think it has looked ever, with the exception of that new playground equipment. And that's what I would like to see a lot of our efforts directed toward, is to get that going and completed. And I may have spoken out of turn here, but that's what I feel like from my end. But, and I could be wrong on that, but it needs something done major down there.
And that might be something that you might want to start, just focusing on the park. It would depend on what the whole board, would decide. But it could be, okay, we want to focus on the park, and what you could do is get input from the community on that, either through a community meeting, or they could put in their 2 cents on their little sticky notes or their cards. Or if you all already have a plan, then it could be in phases, okay? Phase 1, this is what we're going to do and apply for, because park grants are 50-50, so you kind of have to decide, okay, what we want to do and how much money we have. Of course, if you apply, if a trail is part of the park, any kind of a trail, those are 80-20, and that would be, through the Greenways and Trails program, the Trails grant, but that pays more than the LPRF.
That's a project that some of us have been working on for a while now, and we're trying to do the rails by, can't do rails to trails,
Yeah.
but rails by,
Okay.
trails by rails. We already know who owns the property, and we already know who's not gonna let us have, but they make it hard. Before we get to this.
That's one way out.
We do have an active LPRF grant.
Okay.
in,
Oh,
for
okay.
the park. But
Okay,
the grant process has been taking forever.
tell me about it, I know.
We started this in 2020 and was awarded, and then we made some amendments, and then back and forth with engineers and surveys and all that stuff. And I think we're almost at that point. I'm thinking June was when, or that was the last I got.
Okay,
Was,
A little over $1 million.
Yeah.
total.
okay.
I just know most other communities that we drive through that are our size have a sizable park.
Yeah,
And I mean, I realize we're not nearly as big as, say, Boonville, Mississippi, for example, but I mean, they have really nice parks, nice facilities. I grew up right across from the park. I remember when it was a pine thicket. But I mean, I saw it transform, and now we've got grass that grows up through the tennis courts, the nets themselves are sagging. There are a lot of things that I think would help a lot if we could get that. I know I said, we've been talking about it a while. For me, that would be priority one as far as appearance on anything that I'm aware of.
I know, our tennis courts were terrible. They were an eyesore for the whole town, and, I put pickleball courts in. But we bypassed the LPRF grant, because I knew that was gonna take years and years. So we used the American Rescue funds, or the CARES Act funds, I think, for that, and it moves so much.
that's the match.
Yeah, that's your match,
Yeah.
okay, all right. And I think when we did it, I'm trying to think, about 175,000 for 6 courts. And they completely redid, of course, that was before all this inflation. So, but that, you know, if you wanted to do something, you know, with the pickleball or the tennis courts.
That's in the plan.
Yeah, so to have both, the tennis court lines and then the pickleball. inside of that.
Oh, yeah, and that's
And
good.
hopefully
A
at
lot
the
of
end,
people
we
do
could
that.
have things that older people shuffleboard and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, I think that's a super idea, so
Thank you.
that's part of your LPRF thing.
Mhm.
See, you're gonna get there.
Yes, ma'am. But that's, I mean, I was talking, yeah, we've been talking about it now for 3 or 4 years, and I know a lot of folks are aggravated about that, and I understand again, but it's just, personally, that's what I would like to see done. I mean, I know it's in the works, but it's been in the works for 4 years.
And those are some of the slowest grants, LPRF grants, and, they are terrible. I know, splash pad that we put in took at least 3 years. And they just keep sending stuff back and forth, and then sometimes I think somebody new comes in and.
Start over.
Yeah, and they're trying to make a name for themselves and being pretty tough with it, and so they send everything back to you, and no, it's very, very difficult. That process is extremely difficult, and it's just, between that and the TDOT grants, those are the worst. Those 2 things are the very, very, very worst. But, I think y'all have I mean, it sounds like you're hopefully about to make progress. So are they telling you that you may be able to bid it out in June?
Till we start construction,
Yeah.
or start,
Oh,
yeah.
destruction.
Okay. Have you
Yeah.
already bid it?
No.
Okay,
We're gonna go ahead and take everything out,
okay.
and then where they can come start doing it.
So y'all can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, that,
In
okay,
kind.
all right. So that'll be part of your in-kind, and so they will count
Yes,
that, good.
that's
Okay.
towards our match.
And that's difficult to keep up with too. The hours and what you pay them to do that. But no, I think that's super. I think that's gonna be great. So your match on that will be $1 million,
No, 500.
500. So
Something
your
like
grant
that.
is at, okay. All
This
right.
total is $1,018,000.
Is $1 million.
Is it $1,018,000 or $1,080,000?
Okay,
Just over $1 million.
Yeah.
all right. So no, I think that is a terrific idea. Does that help?
Well, yeah, I mean, I knew it was in the works, it's just,
Yeah.
I thought you were asking what we wanted to see done.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would like to
You
see
want to
done,
see
is to
that.
get it done.
And there's not
Yeah.
anything I can do to hurry that up. And
Right.
it sounds to me like y'all have a great plan for that. Do you need, me to have Casey Smith? Are you going through Southwest to do it? Okay.
Maddie Cushman,
Pennsylvania.
well, Maddie's the president of the company.
Okay, it's an engineering company that's,
Well, we were talking about the grant writers.
oh, okay. So you might check with them if you.
Well,
And I'm
we
sure
do
you do all
about
the
every
time.
week or every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And they're shuffling stuff back and forth between TDEC,
Okay,
so.
all right, so it just, I tell you, it just takes a while and you wanted it done last week or last year, and that stuff just doesn't happen. So, well, what else? Now that you're working on that, you don't need me.
I don't know, I assume Jimmy's gonna enlist your help on this hometown grant next time.
Yeah, we've
And we're
already been
also-
talking about that.
We're also gonna be doing some grants for the fire, try to do some grants for the fire department when they come up toward the first of the year.
Okay,
He may want you to help on that.
well, and did you go to the grant writing workshop where I thought you were there, but, oh,
No.
okay, there are some, what is his name? Oh, I can't, Marvin, he's Hardin County's fire chief that spoke at the grant workshop about the different grants that were available for fire and emergency services. And, I'll send you his information because he was very, very helpful about the different grants that you can get through that, so let me.
We've already been talking to him,
You've been talking to him? Okay. Has he been, are you the fire chief?
assistant chief.
Okay. Has he been helpful to you? Okay.
Very.
All right. So I don't need to tell him, but I'll send you the information on those grants that we talked about, some of those that we talked about. Anything else? Well, Jimmy has my number. And if you have any questions, or any of you, or if you think of something after I leave, please don't hesitate to give me a call. And I appreciate y'all letting me come and talk to you today. Thanks so much. And I've got a list of grants that I will give you that Kim Parks had suggested. These were from Rachel Powers. And I'm gonna bring, if I can find them, I'll bring those back in. I think I've got them in the car.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it so
Safe
much.
travel.
Y'all have a good evening.
Yes, ma'am, you as well.
Next, we got the fire report for March. Here we go, for March, we had 8 total calls. Break that down into 4 vehicle accidents, 2 false alarms, and 1 landing zone. Out of the 8 calls, 7 of them were county. So the city should get back 4,200 from the county on those. 1 city call out those, and that was the landing zone. Pretty quiet now for March. Yeah, so we had, 4 first responder calls, 2 in the county and 2 in the city as well. Any questions on the fire report? One thing I wanna bring up about the fire department is, every time it rains, the fire department's flooding in the office. That ditch around it didn't hold out? No. Did it work at all, or did it fill in? It seems like it's gotten worse. This last rain we got this week, the entire floor is. Well, that's after we put gutters on it too, right? And we went in there and dug the ditch around it, you know, and put in a culvert that best we can at each door. Yeah. To help the water flow, and it's, usually it gets in about halfway and stops. This time the entire floor all the way over to the sink is nothing but mud in there. So I know it's a lot of rain that we got the last few weeks or whatever, but
Y'all got any ideas?
I don't think we just need to get together and, discuss how we wanna do it. I mean, I'm afraid what we're gonna be running into is a mold issue. If it keeps getting wet and wet, you know. Is it off the building, or is it coming off from under the water tower? It's just the rain coming in, it's built low and ground up high. Yeah. Same way my house is. So, I'm just afraid that we're gonna, if we get too far down the road with it, as long as it's been flooding, then We got, gonna be running into and reconstructing, I imagine, and that's gonna mold and whatnot else come up, so. Also, the sewer line up there is blocked. We had a call today, we had to go do a lift assist for, DOA, come back and, wash our turnouts, and, the water backs up into the floor out there in the bay. I think the sewer line may be stopped up, wherever it runs to out there, I don't know.
There's a lot of water down from the fire department, if you notice that.
Down the hill down there,
Yeah,
drive,
yeah.
the water stays down there, yeah, it's always wet. I don't know where the sewer line runs at, but we just noticed it today when we washed, the water backed up. Yeah, well, we'll get Sam Scotty to look at it, see what they come up with.
I'll go down and try to look at the drainage issues.
Good. Anybody got any questions for the fire chief, or the assistant fire chief? If not, next will be the resolution 2024-02. This supersedes a motion passed in the past. It's a mitigation plan for all hazards. It's established by Hardeman County for all hazards in the city of Middleton for Hardeman, Tennessee, and for other purposes. So I guess what I need is a motion on resolution 2024-02.
I asked Jim if we had a copy of it, we don't, it's, approved by the county and the federal government. And we gotta have it to have, to be able to apply for disaster relief if we have a disaster. So I'll move we pass resolution 2024-02.
Second.
Motion is second, any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Again, just one reading?
Yeah.
Alright, next, police department report. Chief Arnett?
Good evening, I'm gonna cover police report for the month of March 2024. Complaints and activity 308, adult arrest 5, juvenile arrest 0, drug arrest 1, traffic citations issued 17, traffic warnings 23, motorist assist 5, vehicle lockout assist 6, other public assistance 31, crash reports, accident reports 6, alarm calls 4, city/county assist 51. All of our vehicles we've had minor work done on, but they're all up and running in good order. And we just getting ready for the end of the school year, and we got successfully through our last food drive for the month. So, any questions?
No questions? Thank you, Chief.
How are your computers?
Well, I'm gathering information now, some estimates on some new laptops. We have probably, I would just, off the top of my head, it's probably been 16, 17 years since we had laptops. So we got our use out of them.
I think so.
Yeah. So we're gathering quotes to see what they'll cost us. And what I'm looking at is some that other police departments, THP uses, which is called Tough Book. Look, maybe, take the wear and tear of, the everyday use. So they're costly, but we're looking at different ways that we can, afford them here in the next little while. So.
Did I read right? Did Tennessee pass a law that we can now stop and find the Carolina squatted trucks?
Say that again.
I don't think we passed it, I know Carolina did.
I think Tennessee
So,
passed it.
I think Virginia's addressed it. Tennessee hasn't. They haven't officially addressed that
Yeah.
issue, but there's other motor vehicle.
Now, what does that term mean, cause I'm not familiar with
You know,
that.
the squatted trucks,
These trucks that's riding.
Tail ends on the ground and the front ends up in the air.
yeah, in South Carolina and like I said, Virginia's passed laws that they can't have it the first time you get fined, the second time you get your driver's license revoked for a year.
It's gotta be so far out.
And it's got to, well, they've got to be level.
Yeah.
You can't have the front end, so, cause it's dangerous. I mean, that's a danger.
I seen it somewhere today online. I thought Tennessee had passed it on, or goes into effect on May 10th or something.
I haven't seen
I
it.
haven't
I had to go back and look at it and see if that was
Usually
false
when-
news or
When they
something.
pass new laws, they don't go into effect till July 1.
July 1.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten anything.
Yeah, cause that's when the fiscal year starts, so.
We're addressing them, you know, in different ways that, you know, that's already on the books as far as the height of the headlights, the height of the bumper, muffler law, and different. We're addressing them how we can, but there's right as of today, I don't know any Tennessee legislators that's come down.
If this stuff is illegal, how did they get it done in the first place?
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal, yeah.
Yeah, I
They're, I think Tennessee is wanting to address it with the other states, but they got other things on their mind right now.
Thank you, Chief. Next, our utility report. Looks like water loss. 232,387 gallons is a total of 7.878%. Next we have 2 water line repairs, 2 hydrants flushed. Scotty completed a water distribution class. An annual utility report was submitted on 3/28. Lift station issue station. Sewer backed up due to tree down on power line at Lagoon from storm. Yeah, the lagoon backed up, tree fell on at the lagoon, knocked the power out to the pump. So of course it backed up, but luckily it didn't get close to overflowing, but it did back us up for a little bit, kind of put us in a bind. Pre-treatment samples were pulled at the lagoon on 3/7, 3/14. MTG with meeting with engineer on lagoon and BB well chlorination building grant. He came out and looked at our setup and kind of proposed the way we run the addition to the lagoon. That way it still exits through our current pre-treatment system before it runs it out to the river. It'll just be going in from a different location where you can still operate off the original lagoon or combined lagoon. So that seems to be moving along. One meter installed on 520 North Main. 360 are public awareness plans, state inspection. 314 was the PHMSA report submitted, and 15811 located. The pump at the lagoon did get replaced. The one that went down, they set it back in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago. So it is back in operation, so we're good. We're not limping along on one pump at the beginning anymore.
Good job.
So next, let's see, we got, this update on the utility, the rate study that we talked about last month. I won't read all that, but I'll sum it up. The TAUD stopped accepting applications because of their backlog. MTAS is, okay. The TAUD has stopped accepting applications, period. MTAS is not accepting rate study applications presently because of the backlog. Rate studies, the company wants $12,000 for just water and sewer. Jackson Thornton wants $7,500 for each entity, water, sewer, and gas, for a total of $22,500. And Hussey Gay Bell wants $3,500 for water and sewer, or $5,750 for water, sewer, and natural gas. So, which is substantially cheaper than any of the other bids we've got. So, with y'all's permission, I'm gonna go ahead with Hussey Gay Bell. I don't think we can make a motion. I don't think we need one. It's within the purchasing policy.
Yes.
Anything over 4,000 has to be bid out. Anything.
I'm good with that.
I'm fine with that.
All right. Well, we'll award a Hussey Gay Bell as the for our rate study. Next.
Do they have a timeline?
Give me that. Next, at this point, there's gonna be only one quote received in relation to the building at Middleton Fiberglass. Quote submitted on construction in the amount of $9,950. purchasing policy states for bids over 10,000 is processed must be public advertised with sealed bids to be received. Mr. John Lanier has provided a cost estimate of what he is planning to spend on his part of the addition at no cost to the city, coming to a total of $6,400. Some other contractors were contacted, but we're some time out as far as getting to it. So, $99.50. Right now is our only quote, and it is.
Refresh me again on what
It's a 30 by 48 building out behind the current building on the city's property that we leased.
Okay.
Last year, you weren't here last meeting. So he's wanting this lean-to, store more material outside, their
Okay.
business is picked up. See if we build a building, he supply the fiberglass,
Okay.
put on it.
I just wanted, like I said, I didn't know.
City property, we're adding value to a city property, and
Right.
he's been paying rent for a good while now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see an issue with it, we talked about keeping the, rent the same.
Yeah, it was unanimous, we're talking about property tax value and all kinds of.
So, it is, I mean, all
I
right,
just wanna make sure I just.
That means Eddie's got the contract.
he does.
Okay.
Like I said, it's under the 10,000, so we don't have.
About $50.
Next, Union Boilermakers would like to use the community center for Family Day sometime in June. What are the wishes on the board regarding the charge amount, the industrial rate or the normal rate?
Wouldn't that fall into industrial rate?
We usually do the industrial rate through the week for meetings and stuff, but on weekends it's a higher demand for it, so I told them I didn't know if it'd be the industrial rate or not, because it's on the weekend.
And plus, it's kind of a family
Yeah.
type.
It is a family time, for all the members and their families.
Are they local people?
Well, we stretch from here to Jackson, the car ends,
Yeah, the last time I remember we did this, the locals went all the way to Savannah, Jackson, everywhere else.
we got people from an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
I would make a motion that we treat it as the industrial rate myself. I'll go with the wishes of the board, and I understand both kind of where he goes.
But I'm not saying.
Right, that would be me, I mean, everybody, in my opinion.
I'll go with you.
We be consistent, is that a second?
I'm seconding
I got a motion and a second.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Everybody be down, is that the same?
$50 industrial rate for the Boilermakers.
They might have to buy gas, they might go to the dollar store.
We had some,
That thing about, had all those people, I mean, you couldn't buy gas food, I mean.
They're gonna have some jumpy things, and they've already asked Jimmy about the insurance, and Richard's gonna run his, train, and then the park part will be opening.
all right. Next, we got, Whitney Cox, account 2-0199, had a catastrophic leak in January, and the leak has been repaired. Average usage is 1,973 gallons, asking for a sewer adjustment of 157.27 and a water adjustment of 149.93.
I move that we, adjust the, sewer 157.27.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. So that's only a sewer adjustment of 157.27.
You're gonna do the water on 12 months.
Yeah, so on what she needs to pay still, I should have included that on the motion. I move that she has 12 months to pay it, in
Okay.
installments on the water that she has to pay. Is that good with everybody?
You have a second?
I'll second.
Yeah, oh, well, we'll do another vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, just to be sure. Net Hidden Potential LLC, care of Karen Lanier, had a catastrophic leak and has already paid, has already been repaired. Average water usage 27 gallons, asking for a sewer adjustment of 112-03. And she's already paid it in full. But I was witness to this leak. I had to go cut the water off. Well, I went over there with Sam Scott and cut the water off. It was bad. When it froze and it got so cold, it was pouring out the back of the building. That old bathroom on the back corner, I mean, it was water this deep when they opened the door.
I make a motion that we, take a sewer adjustment of $112.03.
A motion, do I have a second?
I second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
And that was not a typo, 27 gallons either. Normally it's a lot higher than that.
United States Post Office account 2-0657. We received their utility payment 3/25/2024. No postmark, check dated 3/4. Terry spoken with the postmaster at the end of February, and he has stated the check was in the mail. Asking for a credit of late charges incurred during late receipt. Water $5.48, sewer $5.75, sanitation $4.46, and natural gas $14.17 for a total of $30.45 in late charges.
I have a question, what was the bill due?
The 10th.
March the 10th?
Yeah, and the check was dated 3/4, but there was no postmark.
How could the post office not have a postmark?
I mean, they are.
Did they hand deliver it? Oh,
Yeah, I do walk up the hill.
hmm.
I'll move we waive these late fees if it comes to habit and we quit doing
If we don't, we might not get our mail.
it. Yeah,
I got a motion,
for $30.45.
got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Dogwood Apartments, account 2-1769. We received their utility payment 3/25/2024, postmark 3/7. Asking for a credit on a sewer late charge of 3 cents.
Can we do all three of the Dogwood apartments together?
Well, they're different account numbers.
Oh, are they?
Yep.
Okay. Never mind. I move we credit 3 cents.
Alright, you got a motion?
Second.
A second. Any other discussion?
Who seconded?
I did.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Ayes have it.
3 cents.
Next, Dogwood Apartments again, 2-1772. Still received their utility payment 3/25, postmark 3/7. Asking for a credit on a sewer late charge of 33 cents.
So moved.
A motion, do I have a second?
I'll second
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
it.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Dogwood Apartments account 2-1775. Received their payment on 3/25, postmark 3/7. Asking for a credit for late charges, water $3.11, sewer $4.37, and sanitation $1.17 for a total of $8.65 in late charges.
I'll make a motion that we approve the $8.65.
Alright, I got a motion to waive the late charges.
Wait that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Next, Dogwood Apartments, account 2-1782. Same situation, received their payment 3/25, postmark 3/7, asking for a late sewer charge of 56 cents.
I move to waive the 56-cent late sewer charge.
So moved, or second?
I got a motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Next, David Barker, account 4-0745-14. We received the utility payment 3/25, postmark 3/9, asking for a credit on late charge of natural gas for $9.33.
So moved.
Got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Next, David Barker, account 4-0751-0751-12. Received payment 3/25, postmark 3/9, asking for a late charge of $8.31 on natural gas.
I move we credit late charge 831.
Got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Next is a public comment period for matters germane to items on the agenda.
There is water standing in the ditch on Willow Road again. We either have a leak or still that the ditch isn't properly done for it to drain, but there's water standing right there like it has been. That needs to be dug out or checked again, cause I'm afraid it's a leak again.
I got water on, still in my ditch.
See, I don't anywhere on our place except there in the ponds. and it usually when it's there, it's a leak.
Yeah.
That's the reason I was throwing up the flag, I know they tested it or whatever, but it needs to be checked. But the ditch still doesn't drain, if it drained properly, there wouldn't be any there, so it's the only place where it's water.
Standing
Damn water.
So the ditch needs dug out where it's a leak.
or boats.
Or both.
Like there's none anywhere else in that entire strip of the road.
Where we dug it up the last time when I was out
Yes,
there?
sir. Yep. But I think it's the ditch still not dug out.
Not
It
draining.
doesn't drain,
Yeah.
and it just stays there, it'll stay there till the middle of June, we'll get the mosquitoes, and then we gotta fight.
Oh, yeah, if it's leaking, it'd be draining a little bit, you'd think.
Right.
It'd keep building.
Yes, sir.
All right, anybody else? Next, everybody got their revenue and expense report?
I did have one other thing, I asked Jimmy, I'll try to mention another time or two before the next meeting, if, our lawyer got back with us about the 911 fees.
Yeah,
He was
I
supposed to
haven't
be
heard.
researching
Yeah.
that some for us. But he hadn't got back. with
No.
us.
That's not me, he usually sends an email
I
or
forgot
call.
about that, yeah, I forgot about it from last meeting, yeah.
Well, that's a sore spot for
Yes.
me.
I mean,
So I'm thinking about it.
I'm right there with you on that, that's.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all for me.
Well, wait a minute, how are we doing about the, what do you call that up there now, so I call it the right thing?
Landing area.
Landing area.
Landing area. Killed before it was.
It's killed?
Well, we're just waiting on being paving.
Oh, I thought we got the word, I didn't know it was killed.
Paving?
I
We'll
thought
pave
we
it.
were- I thought we were looping it in with the soccer field project.
Well, kind of the last thing that was mentioned was a layout of all
Yeah.
the soccer fields, but I don't know if that's real.
I don't know, after thinking about it, I don't know if we wanna let it there
If you
next to
wanna
a
do
soccer
both of
field.
them, yeah, at the same place.
Kids and traffic, if it does happen to have one during a game,
Well, that frees up another place.
you know.
That would be wide open when we get to that point, but.
Could,
The old
I was just thinking if y'all wanting to free up that area where the soccer fields are now for possible industrial real estate.
Yeah, but industrial need a helicopter.
Yeah.
How many helicopters you remember landing in the front grass at the plant?
I know. So I was thinking if we could put it there, easy to move if we
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see, like I said, we're gonna try to get that road paved before we lose what gravel we put on
Right.
it, and, so we'll look at that then, cause I mean, even if they could use the road land in, up there beyond the fire line,
Nothing around it,
yeah.
it's open.
Oh, sorry, killed on with it.
Okay.
Put on hold and go with it.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all about to go to another thing?
No, we're about to leave.
Okay, alright, real quick. Y'all mentioned the tearing down of the park starting in June, right?
Well, a lot of that stuff will come down before then, the fence
Okay.
and,
Alright, so y'all, do we need to vote, or y'all good with the Civitan Club, I'm assuming has rented that park in the community center for June 26th?
Yes, that's already been reserved.
Already reserved and we're all covered up, okay, so is there gonna be anything going on as far as that deconstruction?
on the weekend,
Yeah, on that Saturday?
we'll try not to have it, we'll just avoid that Saturday, but I'm gonna try to get volunteers down there one Saturday before then
To do
to
the,
help take down the fence and then pull up, I don't know, we'll pull up the post and get everything cleaned up, ready for it.
yeah, her guy said, that we would come help get it down and all that, 'cause I think that's where Wings is wanting to sit down at,
Oh,
in the ball field area,
Yeah,
where that fence is.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
If we need to, just let us know, we'll,
I mean,
oh,
it'll be rolled up and out of the way, it should be.
Skinny fella like
no, I was making sure that
If it's down, it'll be gone.
we got a pretty good thing going on, getting everything set up. I know we've got over 50-something donations at businesses around here, Bolivar and other counties that have donated to auction off for benefit of COVID children. So, we got bouncy houses coming, other games and activities, got the barbecue contest that'll be going on that day through the Civitan Club. I think we're gonna have some other food vendors there.
Even remember, have them call me about those bouncy houses. We can get insurance straight on that.
I think TJ, who we're renting from, carries his liability, is it gotta be more?
they usually carry.
It's like $1 million, what we need to show us is lost fees.
Okay,
You just have to have a copy of it, don't
you gotta have a copy of it from TJ, who we're
Yes,
renting from?
showing us as lost pay.
Okay,
Yeah, cause that way they can't, if they sue us, the insurance covers us.
Right, right, I'll get that from you, and I'll give it to you.
Was it the February or March meeting where we approved the sign or the banner to, when was that? Do you know what the progress is on it, or?
Well, I mean, that's totally Civitan that's handling.
But they haven't said anything about when they're planning to have it done, or?
They're working on it now, the last time I talked to Ramona, yeah.
Thinking like,
Is,
Yeah,
Like
it'll
a
probably
month?
going up a month next, a few weeks,
and then down shortly thereafter.
advertising the barbecue fest.
the only thing I've had a concern on that, and I guess it's everybody's concern on the committee that we've got for this fundraiser is water.
That's being,
And-
well, you're gonna run the line a
Well,
little
the
bit
thing,
further, but still gonna have to have hoses.
right, so is it where's it capped off at again? I know you ought to dig them up.
Just north of the north corner of the tennis court.
Right.
Okay, so we can tap in right there with a water hose?
No, there's no hydrant. We can put a hydrant there,
Yeah,
but it is not one there.
Is that doable? So
yes.
Yeah.
so
There's a
right now,
cutoff, right now it's just a cutoff.
right. Okay, so what we was thinking we was gonna have to do is run a water hose from
Community center.
community center all the way across. Cause we're gonna have to rent, porta potties and a sink for people to wash their hands if they need to, so. That'd be the only thing I think we need some water for, maybe the barbecue contestants might.
Well, community center's open.
They're gonna be using that for judging. That's the only thing, we're gonna
Bathrooms and the.
We're gonna try to blockade it in there, but while they're judging, they want it quiet, so we're gonna, I guess, rent 2 porta potties, one male, one female, and then a hand washing station. And then while they're not judging, the community center can be used for bathrooms, but we're gonna try to lay it out where we can put a wall in there with the dividers,
I got you.
and then maybe keep the bathroom area open to the community and then,
Yes.
okay, maybe we'll get together on that, maybe putting a water hydrant over there by the tennis court where we can have an extra water line if we need it.
But I've already talked to Scotty and saying,
Well, I will make a motion that we adjourn the April 2024 city council meeting.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? The ayes have it.